Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Gopi Jana Balava Giribaradhare Gopi Jana Balava Giribaradhare Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachare Yamunatira Vanachare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Gopi Jana Balava Giribaradhare Gopi Jana Balava Giribaradhare Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachare Yamunatira Vanachare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihare Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada Jai, Prabhupada Jai, Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Vishnupad Paramahans Parivrajakacharya, Srimad His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki, ISKCON's founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki, Shri Shri Radha Radhanath Ki, Shri Giri Govardhan Ki, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki, Gaur Premanande. All glories to their Samo devotees. All glories to their Samo devotees. All glories to their assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 6. Brahma satisfies Lord Shiva. Verses 6 and 7. I assume, oh, you don't have Maharaj? I assume number 7 is on the sheets. Number 7? Okay. So let me just read verse 6 first of all, and then we'll read verse 7 together. Ashasana jivatam advarasya lokasapala kupitena yasmin tamashudevam priyayavihinam kshama hridividam duruktai. Translation. Lord Brahma also advised them that Lord Shiva is so powerful that by his anger all the planets and their chief controllers can be destroyed immediately. Also, he said that Lord Shiva was especially sorry because he had recently lost his dear wife and was also very much afflicted by the unkind words of Daksha. Under the circumstances, Lord Brahma suggested it would behoove them to go at once and beg his pardon. Verse 7. Naham na yagyo na cha yuyam anye Ye Deha Bhajo Munayas Cha Tattvam Vido Pramanam Bala Viryayor Va Yasyatma Tantrasya Ka Upayam Viditset Naham Nayagyo Nachayuyam Anye Ye Deha Bhajo Munayascha Tattvam Vidu Pramanam Balavirya Yova Yasyatma Tantrasya Ka Upayam Viditset Naham Nayagyo Nachayuyam Anye Ye Deha Bhajo Munayascha Tattvam Vidu Pramanam Balavirya Yova Yasyatma Tantrasya Ka Upayam Viditset Naham Nayagyo Nachayuyam Anye Ye Deha Bhajo Munayascha Tattvam Vidu Pramanam Balavirya Yova Yasyatma Tantrasya Ka Upayam Viditset Mataji's. na, not, aham, I, na, nor, yagya, Indra, na, nor, cha, and, you, yam, all of you, anye, others, ye, who, dehabhaja, of those who bear material bodies, munaya, the sages, cha, and, tattvam, the truth, vidu, know, pramanam, the extent, balavirya, of the strength and power, va, or, yasya, of Lord Shiva, atma tantrasya, of Lord Shiva, who is self-dependent, ka, what, upayam, means, vidit set, should wish to devise. Translation. Lord Brahma said that no one, not even himself, Indra, all the members assembled in the sacrificial arena, or all the sages, could know how powerful Lord Shiva is. Under the circumstances, who would dare to commit an offense at his lotus feet? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. After Lord Brahma advised the demigods to go to Lord Shiva and beg his pardon, it was suggested how he should be satisfied and how the matter should be placed before him. Brahma also asserted that none of the conditioned souls, including himself and all the demigods, could know how to satisfy Lord Shiva. But he said, it is known that he is very easily satisfied. So let us try to satisfy him by falling at his lotus feet. Actually, the position of the subordinate is always to surrender to the Supreme. That is the instruction of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord asks everyone to give up all kinds of concocted occupations and simply surrender unto him. That will protect the conditioned souls from all sinful reactions. Similarly, in this case, Brahma also suggested that they go and surrender unto the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. For since he is very kind and easily satisfied, this action would prove effective. Nahamna yagyo nachayu yamanye, ye deha bhajo munyas chatatvam, vidu pramanam balavirya yova, yasyatma tantrasya ka upayam vidit set. Lord Brahma said that no one, not even himself, Indra, all the members assembled in the sacrificial arena, or all the sages, could know how powerful Lord Shiva is. Under the circumstances, who would dare to commit an offense at his lotus feet? Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyatyadesh Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha, Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, the demigods and their associates are wondering what to do. It is really, it's clear to them now that the situation is very serious and they shouldn't just carry on fighting about it. That's what they had been doing. Bhrigu Muni, on behalf of the demigods, etc., he had manifested a special group of demigods, the Ribhu demigods, to fight against the followers of Lord Shiva. And they managed to chase them away initially, but then Virabhadra came, and along with various other followers of Lord Shiva. And there was nothing they could do. They were just the demigods, or the followers, the soldiers of the demigods were just basically, well, they were defenseless. They couldn't do anything effectively against particularly Virabhadra. So therefore, so many were killed, and the whole sacrificial arena and all the different items which make up that sacrificial setting, they were all just smashed and just thrown about, and just the situation was such that the demigods couldn't do anything. They could have tried again, but it was clear that there was just no point. And it was becoming clear that actually the situation was very bad, in the sense that Lord Shiva was offended, and the implications of that for their futures were really terrible. Already some of them, Daksha had lost his head. Was it Pusha? I think Pusha had lost his teeth. Someone else had lost his eyes from that side, the demigod group. So all this annihilation and devastation had gone on. And then, so by his mercy, Lord Brahma came. Lord Vishnu was not far away, that was mentioned, but particularly Lord Brahma here is taking the lead and addressing the demigods and helping the demigods. Because the point is, the question is, what to do? What now? What next? What to do? How to address this situation? So Lord Brahma, here he is. Initially, he's just clarifying what really is the situation. The essence of the situation is that terrible offenses have been committed against an extremely elevated personality. And so what to do about that? Yes, what to do about that? There's a similar situation. There's a very similar situation, actually, in Lord Krishna's pastimes in the Govardhan Leela, where Lord Indra offends Lord Krishna. We all know the story very well. And at the end, when Indra comes to his senses and understands that, oh, I have actually done something wrong and I need to do something. I need to do something about it to correct the situation and to save myself. But Lord Indra doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know what to do. He needs some help to understand. Actually, according to Srila Jiva Goswami, Kavi Karnapur, Indra became so devastated when he understood that actually I have made a most supremely bad offense. It's just too bad. Then Lord Indra was thinking, I'll just commit suicide. So he picked up his Shri Shri Radha Radhanath Shri Giri Govardhan Shri Caitanya Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. So they say he picked up his jewel-handled dagger and was just about to drive it into his heart when Brihaspati, the chief priest of the demigods, and basically like the spiritual master of the demigods, came and chastised him. What do you think you're doing? Don't bother killing yourself. Don't waste your time killing yourself. You're already worse than dead. Yes. Whew. For anyone who thinks suicide might be the answer, it's never really the answer. But what was the answer in this case for Lord Indra? Lord Indra didn't know, and Brihaspati also didn't really know. So Brihaspati told him, go and ask Lord Brahma. Go and ask Lord Brahma. So off went Lord Indra to ask Lord Brahma what to do, what course of action to take to correct the situation and become free from his offenses and the reactions and so on. So Lord Indra went there to Lord Brahma, but again he made a mistake because he didn't know what to do. And when someone doesn't know what to do, then it comes out in different ways. They do wrong things and make mistakes in different ways. So Lord Indra, thinking he would sort of, in a collegial sort of way maybe, a friendly sort of way, broach the subject that, I committed some offenses, can you help me with it? So in a sort of, I don't know, not exactly light-hearted way, but in a way which was inappropriate at least, he approached Lord Brahma and said, oh, I heard you offended Lord Krishna by stealing the cowherd boys and calves. I've also committed an offense. What did you do? Yeah. So, but all he could say is that, I heard you offended Lord Krishna. And then Lord Brahma said, yes, but not like what you've done. So, and Lord Brahma told him, don't ask me what to do, because I don't know what to do. Your offenses are just too much. At which point Lord Indra thought, it's hopeless. It's hopeless. Even Lord Brahma doesn't know what I might be able to do, so there's nothing I can do, and so it's hopeless. But then Lord Brahma took compassion upon him and said, you know what? Lord Krishna is very fond of the cows, and you, by the mercy of the Lord, you have on your planet, you have a Surabi cow, one of the actual Surabi cows. So, what you should do is approach Lord Krishna, but put the Surabi cow in front and let her speak to him first and sort of just, prepare the situation a little bit. And then you can try to apologize. So that's what Lord Indra did. And it worked. Actually, such a situation that when eventually, after Surabi had appealed on behalf of Lord Indra initially, then Lord Indra started apologizing. Then Lord Krishna, it's very amazing. Lord Krishna said, why are you apologizing? I should apologize to you for having offended you the way I did. Just see Lord Krishna, the amazing nature of Lord Krishna. So, but anyway, the point and principle is that, you could say some sort of strategy may be required when there's very special circumstances, how to deal with the situation nicely, appropriately, effectively, and not possibly make the situation even worse by just approaching it in the wrong way. So therefore, and of course here again, this is Lord Brahma advising the demigods. So the point and principle there is that sometimes by Krishna's arrangement, sometimes just by somehow it happens, but sometimes for devotees, sometimes by Krishna's arrangement, they find themselves in situations which they are not able to deal with. They just cannot understand. They don't know what to do. And then they have to take shelter of someone who's more qualified, more senior, and with a deeper understanding. And ultimately, this is very good for the devotees. Because in material life, of course, there's not just the tendency, but oftentimes it's just even a deeply held conviction that I know, I understand, I know what to do, I don't need advice. Yes. But actually, it's not true. It's just part of the conditioning of the conditioned souls, and part of Krishna consciousness, even one of the most essential, if not the most essential part, is to know that we have to take shelter. We have to take shelter in different ways. Krishna consciousness is a process of taking shelter, receiving shelter, and through that shelter, being able to make progress and solve the problems of life, ultimately, to go back to the spiritual world. and to think that whatever's the situation, but I know what to do, I'll be able to handle it. I'll be able to deal with it. In other words, I'm the authority. By Krishna's arrangement, Krishna makes arrangements so devotees learn, different situations arise, and devotees see that actually, I don't know. Actually, I need help. I must take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and or of the devotees, of other devotees, to get their help to deal with the situation. So initially here, the demigods thought that they could deal with the situation. Bhrigu Muni, who's a very important person, of course, very qualified and highly intelligent. Even there's the story in the 10th canto of how he managed to make some arrangements to establish who is the supreme or who is superior. Is it Lord Brahma? Is it Lord Shiva? Or is it Lord Vishnu? Who is on the higher level? Bhrigu Muni arranged, very amazing actually, sort of program of activity to test these three personalities and come to the understanding of who is on the highest position. But in this case, Bhrigu Muni himself thought, when the followers of Lord Shiva initially attacked the sacrificial arena, Bhrigu Muni initially thought, no problem, we will call up the Ribu demigods, who are great fighters, and they will fight off the followers of Lord Shiva, or even ultimately, effectively, they'll fight off Lord Shiva, and problem solved. Problem was not solved. Problem was not solved when the special position of Lord Shiva even in relation to the demigods was shown by his being able to manifest Virabhadra, who was powerful beyond the power of these demigods. Then they realized that we haven't got the capacity to address this situation. We are hopelessly defeated, and we need to take shelter. So then Lord Brahma came. And Lord Brahma's approach, he doesn't try to devise some clever strategy or something like that, which, arguably he did with Lord Indra in the Govardhan Leela. But he could understand that Lord Shiva is just so terribly offended. He just lost his wife, and he was insulted so badly by Daksha. So what to do when all else fails, when you can't think of some way of doing something intelligently? Just throw yourself at the lotus feet and just surrender and just take shelter. And this is what he's telling the demigods to do. And because the demigods, they're actually, along with being aware that they've offended just too badly, they also want to continue the sacrifice, which has been interrupted. Anyway, that point will be addressed at the beginning of the next chapter. But that's what they want to do. They want to carry on with the sacrifice somehow. So, but anyway, here the point is that Lord Brahma, he has no idea of doing something cleverly or intelligently to address the situation. Just take shelter. Just go and surrender unto the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. Because he is, as was mentioned in one of the just immediate previous verses, he's Ashutosh. He's very easily satisfied. He's very easily offended, but he's very easily satisfied too. So if you just take a humble position, that'll be the most effective thing to get the mercy of Lord Shiva, and that's what they do. And anyway, I don't want to sort of spoil what's coming up, but it works. Lord Shiva forgives, and it's a long story. We'll go through it as time goes on. But yes, Lord Brahma understands this will be effective. In fact, there was one devotee many years ago, really, probably in the either late 70s or very early 80s, in America, who did something really terrible, which I won't even say, but it just was really terrible. And the police caught him, and he was trying to figure out what to say to the police so that, to minimize things. And Ravindra Swarup Prabhu, not our one from Unit 9, but the Prabhupada disciple, Ravindra Swarup, he went to see this devotee or whatever person in jail, and the person said, "What shall I say? Tell me, what should I say?" And Ravindra Swarup Prabhu said, "Well, why don't you try telling the truth? You tried everything else. Try telling the truth, it might help." So, yes, the conditioned soul is so inclined to try to be clever and sidestep things, but by Krishna's arrangement, sometimes the devotee or the devotee gets smashed so heavily that the devotee understands, best thing, just be humble and just throw myself at the lotus feet of the Lord and just beg for mercy. So Srila Prabhupada in the purport is addressing this point, that actually the position of the subordinate, because all of these people, including Lord Brahma himself, ultimately, they're all subordinate to Lord Shiva. They're all, none of them, even Lord Brahma, even though Lord Brahma in a certain sense is the father of Lord Shiva, but actually still he's subordinate, because Lord Shiva is a special type of form of Lord Vishnu. Not exactly the same, but something to do with Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu is much higher than Lord Brahma. And what to speak of Indra and all these others, Brigu and the various others assembled there. So this Lord Shiva, in his special position, actually Lord Brahma explains, of course, in Brahma Samhita, that if you take Lord Vishnu to be milk, like milk, then Lord Shiva is like yogurt. Yogurt, what is yogurt? It's milk. But still there's a difference. And yogurt, you could say, is subordinate to milk, because from milk you can make yogurt and so many things, but from milk you can make yogurt, but from yogurt you can't make milk. So the position of Lord Shiva is like that. Like Lord Vishnu, but he's been permanently changed, permanently soured by the association of Durga, the personified material nature. Yes, so Lord Shiva's in such a position, he's superior to even Lord Brahma himself, who is advising these demigods who are subordinate to him. So Prabhupada's emphasizing how in Bhagavad Gita Lord Krishna gives this famous instruction, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishami Mashuchaha, that one should just abandon all other forms of religion, or just abandon everything else and just surrender to the Lord, to Krishna himself. Ekam, mam ekam sharanam. Just take shelter of me alone. And then aham tam sarva papebhyo. Then I will deliver you from all your pap, all your sinful activities, all your sinful reactions. And mokshayishami, I'll free you. Mashuchaha, don't fear. So ultimately, this is the essence of religion. This is the essence of Krishna consciousness. This is the essence of life. That in order to become protected from the onslaught of material nature, which otherwise, at least ultimately, it's just way beyond the conditioned souls to actually deal with, one should simply surrender to the Lord, and by his mercy one can be delivered from any situation, whatever the situation may be. Daksha lost his head, literally, and his head was thrown into the fire at that sacrificial arena. His head was thrown into the southern side. Not so auspicious. Thrown into the southern side and basically just destroyed. But even so, by taking shelter, by surrendering, in this case to Lord Shiva, he got another head. In due course, he gets another head, and he's able to continue on. Not exactly the sort of head he might have liked, the head of a goat, but still he's able to function, he's able to speak. So for devotees, we should be clear that ultimately the main thing to do is surrender to the Lord and get the shelter of the Lord the shelter of the devotees. Through the shelter of the devotees, we can get the shelter of the Lord. And that'll protect the conditioned souls from all sinful reactions. And here in this particular situation, he's also suggesting that they go and surrender unto the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. For since he's very kind and easily satisfied, this action will prove effective, and anything else just will not work at all. Hare Krishna. Any comment or question? Maharaj, some words of wisdom. Microphone, hey.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. The discussion in this one, it also gives a teaching for us also Vaishnava devotees. If we commit an offense against higher authorities, Vaishnavas, only he can forgive us, not anyone.
Right.
Here Brahma is a very powerful authority. Still he says that go to Lord Shiva, only he can forgive.
True.
So it is for us also related.
That's, yeah. When you offend anyone, particularly some great person, but when you offend anyone, you can only go to that person and get forgiveness. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.